Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual happy hour. Thank you so much for your patience. And I was just reading some of these comments in the meantime, and I just want to reiterate what everyone's saying about the cold weather. I really hope that everyone who's experiencing that cold weather and in those storms that they're able to stay safe and stay warm. But we really appreciate everyone who's taken time out of their night to join us here on our virtual happy hour. So thank you so much. And to introduce tonight's theme, we want to show a quick clip from none other than Sesame Street.
And dreaming, snoozing, snoring, there is simply no ignoring. Sleep makes me feel so rested. Sleep makes me feel brand new.
So I couldn't have said it better than them. Sleep is so important, makes us feel great, right? Nobody can live without it. And for those of you that have noticed, yes, it is me tonight as your host, not Lon. And that's actually because Lon is out doing a future site inspection for a future Soul to Soul trip. But he is on, so let's go ahead and tell him hi real quick. Oh, it looks like Lon is having too much fun at the new Soul to Soul location. So I guess that's a good sign. He did actually mention to me that they were meeting with the hotel managers and setting up everything up and having a meeting right now to fix everything for that future Soul to Soul event. So I guess that's good news. It's going well. And as you all know, we have a special presenter for tonight. We've changed our format a little bit. And so Angela Bruszewski is here with us, and she's going to be talking to us about sleep. Hi, Angela.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Hope.
Of course, thank you so much. And for those of you that don't know, Angela is so awesome and so flexible, as she demonstrated today, because she texted me at about 2 in the afternoon and was like, hey, our power just went out because of all these crazy storms, but she's still making it work, so we're so grateful.
Yes, we're happy to have power back.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead. I'm not going to waste any time because I know everyone's really excited to hear from you. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you start with your presentation.
All right, sounds great. Thank you. So to get us started, I wanted to really talk about sleep because it has just been, Soul has had a huge impact in my sleep, which is exactly what I came to it for. So really, a good night's sleep can make you feel like $1,000,000. We all know that. And of course, some spectacular herbs. Next slide. And then, I kind of wanted to address how do we feel when we are lacking sleep? Do any of these sound familiar? You're feeling exhausted, you're having mood swings. I mean, I can attest, my husband, he was probably, he put up with me wonderfully for a very long time, for many years. Because when you're tired, you tend to take it out on other people. You're lethargic the next day, you're forgetful. As you guys probably know, when you miss sleep, the next day you are craving the carbs, you are so hungry. You literally could be eating anything in the pantry, anything in the fridge. And then you have that brain fog that kind of sets in. We also have that, cognitive function addressed, which is affected. And, we find ourselves stumbling in our words and just like creating new words, which is kind of fun. And then we'll go to the next slide. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about what America is telling us and the statistics. So per the National Sleep Foundation, adults should aim for about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Healthy adults should aim between 13 to 23% of deep sleep. And as we age, we require less deep sleep. And the reason because of this is because as we age, our body produces lower levels of growth hormone. Therefore, we're not getting that deep sleep, and then we're producing less melatonin, and we're often experiencing more fragmented sleep during the night. So we still need that 7 to 9 hours, but our sleep is altered a little bit as we age. And then, some of these people, my husband included, he's starting to need more sleep because he's home with us and the kids, every day working from home. But, he's one of these that used to have 5 hours of sleep. Well, it is not enough, and it's actually proven in a lot of different studies. And according to a study in 2018 of more than 10,000 people, the body's ability to function declines if sleep is not in that 7 to 8 hour range. And then even in that study, verbal skills, reasoning, and overall ability to think were just not at the full capacity. And I did want to go over just a few more other statistics as well. I couldn't fit everything on there, but I found it was very intriguing to me. Poor sleep is actually linked to a higher body weight. So if we are having a shorter sleep duration, we're about 55% more likely to develop obesity. Another one is that good sleep actually enhances athletic performance. So if you work out like myself, I look back to how I used to do, and my performance was not there. My concentration, my productivity, my quick thinking and accuracy was just not there because I wasn't sleeping as good. Poor sleep is also related to greater risk of heart attacks and stroke. It also affects our glucose metabolism and type 2 diabetes risk. They're strongly linked to adverse effects on the blood sugars in the general population. It's also linked to depression. About 90% of people with depression admit to struggling with sleep. Sleep also improves our immune function. If we are, not sleeping, we're about 3 times more likely to develop a cold or flu or just get sick. And then it's also linked to a lot of inflammation in our body. So that's another factor right there. The next slide then. So what's causing this whole sleep disturbance? We have stress, we have anxiety, we have, if we're not sleeping, it could be due to pain or poor sleep habits. Do you ever notice if you have too much caffeine before bed, or if you're having alcohol or an underlying condition? Those are all kind of factors about why we're not sleeping. Next slide. And I thought that was a good picture to add in there because it just kind of reminded me how things used to be for me. The next one I wanted to address is some herbs for sleep and stress because it kind of goes hand in hand. My favorite personally is the passion flower. Passion flower actually helps lower anxiety. It's considered comparable to any anti-anxiety pharmaceuticals. It's also used for help with sleep, pain, anxiety, and heart rhythm regularities. And it's also shown to increase GABA in the brain, which actually helps calm the mind. You can find that in our product Renew, which is, I call it my sleepy time tea. Love that stuff. And the next one is valerian, which is actually used to relieve anxiety. It has a mild calming effect. It's most commonly used for insomnia or sleep disorders, but it's often referred to as nature's Valium. And the reason for this is there's some studies that it's just one of those very strong herbs that, it's not widely used. It's used here and there. And then next slide. So some of the other herbs that I love to use are chamomile. People use this a lot in their teas. It's been used for centuries as a sleep aid for wounds, hay fever, really as a kind of a healing remedy. But again, it promotes calmness of the mind, sleep, relaxation, and you can also find this in our Renew. Lemon balm is also another one. It offers a relaxed state of mind, decreased anxiety. It's often used in different sleep disorders. It can also help lower the cortisol levels, which is very important because you'll find that if you're not sleeping, your cortisol levels may be shooting up. And then it also helps soothe tension due to stress, and it supports the central nervous system. So what you'll find with a lot of these herbs is that they're supporting the central nervous system, our brain, and they're helping calm it. And they're also helping calm everything down to the heart, rhythms, and so on. You can also find lemon balm in our Renew tea. Next slide. And then getting to ashwagandha. This is huge. This is one herb that everybody talks about, everybody wants. Stress, anxiety, depression. This is a widely known herb. It's also been shown in animals and humans for a positive effect to help control anxiety and all of those things, help reduce fatigue, any cloudy thinking, and also, again, helping the circulatory system. And then it's also the most important herb used in alternative medicine today, just because there's so many benefits. There was a study in 2012 that was shown to actually help improve rheumatoid arthritis, and 1980 showing the lowering of hemoglobin. You can find ashwagandha in our Vital as well as our Adaptable, two of my other favorite products. Motherwort, that one is actually used to help calm nerves, relax muscles, improve anxiety, depression, and hypertension. It may reduce palpitations, and it's very high in antioxidants. As you notice, breaking down into some of these herbs, I couldn't fit everything on here because you'll find a lot of these herbs, they don't just do one thing. They are addressing a plethora of issues. And you can also find motherwort in our Renew. Next slide. Moving on to St. John's wort. St. John's wort has been used as a sedative, reduce anxiety. It's being used for pain and healing, actually of bruises, varicose veins, and it's often used to treat seasonal affective disorder in the alternative medicine world. If anyone's has SAD, St. John's wort is one of those herbs that will be greatly used and help that. That can be found in our adaptable. Lavender, everybody loves to diffuse it. Everybody loves to, whether they're putting on oils, topically. This one is wonderful. It helps decrease emotional stress. Just breathing it in can really help. And that's something that I really learned with a lot of Jennifer Pressimone's, her wonderful classes, just realizing that just even by smelling some of these oils and different herbs, it really has effect on the blood-brain barrier. And so getting into that one, again, it helps relax and calm and may help lower cholesterol. And then you also have that one in our balance oil in our Courage Oil Roller Blend. Wood betony is another tonic that is wonderful. It helps calm the digestive system caused by anxiety and stress. It helps soothes, restores, and strengthen nerves and release tension. It also helps support the central nervous system. And it actually has a little name of hedge nettle. It's been used throughout Europe, known for its healing and magical properties. And that one is also included in our Renew and our Vertizymes. Next slide. And then, as I mentioned before, the oils, lavender, of course, popped up there just for the relaxing effects. It's in our Balance EO, or essential oil. And then, of course, valerian. Valerian popped up there as it's a strong sedative for the central nervous system. It also helps relax those internal organs, just because it has such that strong sedative effect. Roman chamomile. This one may alleviate some insomnia by reducing anxiety and depression. It's found in our Calm essential oil. And then bergamot, and has that calming effect. It may help lower heart rate and blood pressure. Clary sage, the antidepressant effects, and it's a natural sedative. And then sandalwood. Sandalwood, I was actually really surprised about reading up on this one because I personally enjoy it. It's one of those that I never thought it was relaxing to me. I never thought of it that way. I just had some candles that I really enjoyed the smell. But it actually helps relieve stress and anxiety. So no wonder my body liked it and responded. And then ylang ylang has that soothing effect, alleviating stress, and helps promote sleep. So that's just one of the other oils. So next, going on to our omega-3s. This one was really intriguing to me. So if you are having trouble sleeping, I would definitely encourage getting on an omega-3. Low levels of DHA have been linked to lower the hormone melatonin, which can help you fall asleep. So if they're low, you need to get it up there. The low levels of omega-3 fatty acids, they're also associated with sleep patterns in children's and obstructive sleep apnea in adults. So if that's something, talk with your doctor about and maybe consider adding in an omega-3. And then they also did a study in children and adults showing that by supplementing with omegas, it increased the length and the quality of sleep. So I just thought that was very interesting because it is considered brain food. Next slide. And then, really looking at things as a whole picture. We need to really go in and calm and balance. We need to look at the root of the cause of why you're not sleeping. Is it anxiety? Is it stress? Are you in pain? Is there something more going on gut related? Looking at these, I thought it was very important to combine the calm and the balancing factors. Those are what had really helped me. The calm, the products that I added in were my Renew and Vertizymes. And later I added the Calm EO, and I actually added in the Contentment roller. And I apply my Contentment roller every evening. The balancing, the vital. The vital is so important because I put that question in there. Did you know that chlorophyll acts as a carrier so that the herbs can work better? Chlorophyll is great at, it's a carrier. It's going to help in your absorption levels. So it's really going in and doing you a lot of favors. And when you're taking that vital, you've got all your vitamins and trace minerals. And it's also helping boost your mood and your immunity. It's got all those great factors in it. And then, of course, in the balancing, there's the Balance Essential Oil, and then there is the Adaptable as well. There's some of those nights that Renew and Vertizymes, I'm like, and if I'm really stressed out, I add an Adaptable in the evening before bed, and it works wonders. Next slide. So we've all been there, creating healthy sleep and benefits, and how can we get there? Making sleep a priority and saying no to things. I don't know about you, but I am a yes person. I am the type of person who doesn't like to disappoint people, and I want to be able to go and do all those things. And I have found with Soul I've been able to do that, but I wanted to, there is a time and a place where you have to have some self-care and you have to make some time for yourself. And so saying no to those things, I think, is very important. Establishing a nightly routine and sticking to it. So if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock every night, even on the weekend, you should go to bed at 10. Same thing with waking up at the same time every day. Even on the weekend, try to keep that schedule because your body's going to stay more in tune. Moving your body, exercise is key. Even if it's just 30 minutes a day, you're doing that cardiovascular health, and you're actually getting your body moving, and you're probably going to sleep better for it too. Bedroom, make your bedroom your oasis and make it comfortable, conducive for your sleep. Have the lights low when you walk in. Have it maybe at a cool temperature so you're not too hot. And also, if you have a sound machine, bring the sound machine in, travel with it. Those are key as well. No TV or phone before bed. Some people, for me, the TV does not affect me. My phone, I cannot be on my phone because it will start to stimulate my mind. So I really try to stay off of there. The blue light glasses, they're wonderful. I actually don't have mine on right now. But I usually, if I am going to be on my phone or even watching TV, maybe I'll put them on. And Amazon has a great deal on them too, so you can snag them there. And then diet, I started noticing these little changes. Just no sweets before bed. And whether it was a big bowl of ice cream, that sugar's trying to process and everything, and it can really keep you wired. Next slide. So what would you do for a good night's sleep? I like to ask people that because after trying so many different things, I think it's important to be open-minded and, trust your gut and do your research. And kind of going into a little bit of testimonies, we have Krista, I know, that she'd like to share her testimony on how Soul has helped her.
Hi, Krista. How are you?
Hey, how are you, Hope?
Pretty good. And like Angela said, we just heard that awesome presentation from her. You are one of the people that came to mind when we thought of sleep testimonials because I'd actually just heard you on a call with Valerie Bledsoe the other day.
Yes. So Valerie reached out to me and said, "How are you liking longevity?" And I was like, "I love it." So for me, I'm in Canada, and even though Alberta boasts 300 out of 365 days a year of sunshine, we just finished a polar vortex of minus 40 Celsius. Google it,
Awesome.
you'll feel really bad. So you're not going outside and getting vitamin D when it's that cold. We're back out of it. I told Hope earlier today it was going to be, what did I say, 44 by the weekend here,
So
Fahrenheit. So,
nice.
right, much better. And we'll get vitamin D, but we don't live where it's easy to get it. So she even did a slide and it showed literally like if you're above this line, you need vitamin D. And all of us are there, like except for Mexico, seriously, are above that line. So what for me it was a deeper sleep. Like we don't even understand. It's the mixture, it's how Soul does amazing things. We all know that none of the products do only one thing, that they're always such a, like a blessing in so many ways. So it's this deep sleep. Like I told Hope earlier today a story about Grace. She was mad because she couldn't find one of her toys in bed, and she said, "Mommy, I was laying in my bed crying. I used to be the one that woke up when Grace rolled over in bed. I didn't even hear her till she was next to my face." Right? That's how deep asleep. I've never gotten sleep like this. And I had no idea vitamin D would do it. I've taken vitamin D drops before. I've never experienced this type of amazing sleep. So if you're watching and you haven't got your longevity yet, hit up customer service or hit up your specialist and put it on your next order for sure.
That's awesome. I love that, Krista. And I love how, too, you pointed out, like, better sleep wasn't something you were expecting necessarily to experience with longevity, right? And that's what's so amazing about all of these products is that because of the high quality of herbs and the adaptogens we include in there in the mixture, it just helps our bodies in so many different ways that honestly, a lot of us will start taking something and then be like, I started taking it for this, but this also improved. And so it takes us a while to realize, but it's so awesome.
And my sleep has improved immensely since starting Soul. Like, I would get 3 hours a night. I was the worst. And then I went up to 7 or 8 thanks to Soul, and now it's not even it's 7 or 8, but it's deeper. I'm getting more deep sleep.
Yeah.
So,
No, and I see people commenting right now, like Amy and Sarah Spencer all commenting, like, I actually dream again. Like, I wasn't dreaming before. And so that's so cool that other people are experiencing it as well. And it's
oh,
funny because sometimes we don't realize the changes that are happening until someone else mentions it. And then we're like, oh, yeah, I've experienced that too.
okay, so I just realized something, and didn't even know this was happening because Grace has been waking up every morning. And for those that don't know, Grace is my daughter. She'll be 4 next month. And she's like, Mommy, I dreamt this. She's been totally telling me her dreams the last week. And of course, as soon as it came out, not only did I take it, it's a family thing like anything else with Soul. And so she's been taking it every day. And now she's like, Mommy, last time, like, oh, I only had one dream. And then today she had said 3 or 4.
Wow. That's awesome. Hmm.
So who
Well,
knew?
you never know, right? Hopefully they're good dreams, it sounds like, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much, Krista. It's always a blast to talk to you and to see you and have you. You're so flexible and willing to help out, so we really appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks again for having me, Hope.
No problem. Awesome. And then I want to bring it back up Angela really quick because first of all, I have some comments about her presentation. It was an awesome presentation. I see all of you were really happy with it. You learned some things you didn't know before. And Andrea Knapp even commented earlier that Angela is actually who helped her a lot with her sleep routine and getting better sleep. So we're really thankful for Angela and her doing that. And I also know that Angela wanted to say a few words about her personal experience with how Soul products have helped her sleep.
When I first came to Soul, I was pretty desperate, but I was also very skeptical. Some of you guys know here on here, I have congenital heart disease, so I was very cautious with what I was putting in my body, just because I'm still on heart medication. But I decided to take a chance on Soul. I did my own research and I took everything to my cardiologist at Northwestern, and she was very happy with everything. And so I started out with the Renew and the Vertizymes and added in the Adaptable if I need it. And I can tell you I'm sleeping like 7 to 9 hours a night. I'm rested. I have more energy for my kids. And I even added in our Cinemate first thing just to help boost my immunity because I was always, one of these sick kids growing up and I really needed to boost my immunity. And that was one of those that I fell in love with the taste. It's just amazing. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it was one of those things I needed to add in. And I just found I was doing things with my kids that I would have never taken them to the apple orchard by myself, not sleeping. And I had the energy to work out and not have that afternoon crash. And so once you find that sleep and you're addressing those root causes, it just makes a world of a difference. And so I encourage people, talk with your specialist, whoever invited you, if you're watching this, just because that there's just get to that root cause. I was one of these that I dabbled in different things periodically, and it was never really addressing the root cause. And it was also one of those things where I would take a prescription, I would become immune to it so quickly. And I didn't really want to go down that route. And it's just been amazing, and I feel very, very blessed.
Well, that's awesome, Angela. I love hearing that. And I think that's an experience that might be fairly similar for a lot of other people, right? Like, unless you come from an herbal background, a lot of people don't know much about herbs and what they can do for you. And so some of us might experience that skepticism at first, and it takes a while to figure out what exactly it is that your body needs and which products you should be taking because, like we've mentioned, all of them are so versatile. And so I love how you started out with one or two to address a certain issue and then started adding on as you learned more about it. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, it looks like we are pretty good on questions about this. Everyone seemed to love your presentation. So again, thank you so much, Angela. We really appreciated it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Awesome. Well, I just wanted to take a brief second to chat about this new format and why we've chosen to change our virtual happy hour a little bit. And it's actually because we want it to be a good example for what you and your specialists can use for your virtual happy hours, right? We know it's kind of hard to get together right now with everything going on with the current health crisis, but you still can do weekly or however frequent meetings over Zoom or whatever it may be with people that you invite. And so this is a great format, just doing a short health presentation about any topic you want, right? Because our products relate to all health issues. And so just pick a topic that you're interested in or that you know a group of people would like to hear about, and then prepare a short presentation on it like Angela did. And afterwards, it's always great to have a few people who have experienced and tried the products and have experience with that specific issue. And so try to find some people to talk about that. And if you don't know any personally, that's what your upline and your downlines are there for, right? And so you can always reach out to them. And also, along with that, I would love for you to reach out to them too in preparing your presentations. Let them know, like, hey, I'm going to do a health presentation on this. Do you have any recommendations for me on where I can find good information? Because there's a lot of resources out there, and I don't want that to be intimidating to people. That's also part of the reason we created a blog for our new site. And so if you need help, if you want to give a presentation on our philosophy or on a specific adaptogen, there are some awesome resources there. And if you want to add suggestions for topics we could cover, if you need help with a certain area, you're also welcome to reach out to me or Lon via email and send us a message, and we're happy to help you. And that being said, when you're doing your virtual happy hours or your in-person happy hours, if that's a possibility for you, that's great. Have your health presentation, do your testimonials, and then also, like Angela did, you want to give them a direction to head in, right? Like you want to suggest a few products for them, create a path for them to follow, a place for them to start. Because it can be a little bit overwhelming for someone who doesn't know Soul to just go on our site and know what they should start with, right? And so by attending a health presentation or something like this, and then you recommending, let's say for sleep, we know Renew and Vertizymes are really great in general for sleep. And like Angela said, you can help them and be like, okay, well, is it more of a balancing issue or a calming issue? And recommend just one or two things for them and have them start with that. That's a great way to go with your virtual happy hours, because you always want to end with a call to action, right? And that being said, to get people to attend your virtual happy hour, you want to make sure you really put a lot of thought into how you're inviting people. And so when you invite people, make sure it's not just a post on Facebook announcing that you're going to have a health presentation. You want to send individual messages to people, whether that be over WhatsApp or text messaging or even Facebook Messenger. Just make it a little bit personal, like include their name, include why you thought they might enjoy it, and let them know at what time it is, right? Send them the link. Make it as easy as possible for them to attend. And then you want to send those a little bit, like a few days in advance, so people have a heads up. And when the day comes, make sure you follow up with people, because a lot of times, someone invites us to something and we know it's later in the week, but we're just busy. Our lives are busy, and so we forget. And so it's always super helpful to follow up. You're not bothering them. Obviously, if they ask you not to invite them anymore, that's totally fine. But really, the amount of times that happens is so small. They're always going to be grateful that you even thought of them if you do it in the correct way. And to end, I want to talk really quick about our upcoming convention. It's in Orlando, Florida. We're super excited about it. And here's some information for you on it. So it's going to be August 19th to the 21st for everyone, unless you are Soul Elite, and then you're invited to come on the 18th. And I know on our website, the sites currently say the 18th to the 21st, so ignore that. The common dates are 19 to the 21st. And we're so excited to be able to get together again, because honestly, it's been so long since we've been able to be together as a Soul family. And so this is going to be a really awesome experience, especially for those people that maybe haven't ever been to an event before. And so what it is we're going to have general information sessions, interactive breakout sessions. We're going to do a really fun recognition night with kind of a Hollywood glam theme. And then fun, of course, because our hotel is actually just right across the street from Disney Springs, which connects you to all the Disney parks in that area. And so Friday afternoon, actually, we're leaving open for people to go have fun and enjoy the area, right? And so if you're bringing your family or you just want to go have fun with your team, that's an awesome time and an awesome excuse to be able to go see all these fun things while still being technically at work, kind of, and learning in the meantime. And as to who's invited, everyone is invited. You don't have to be a part of Soul to come. We have people who are members that come just because they love learning about the products. We have people who aren't even a part of Soul that come and that love it, just because it's such a fun environment. And if you're looking to register, just go ahead and call customer support. They are happy to register you right now. Registration is $225, but that price will go up after March 31st. And so make sure to call and get that in now. And if you have any questions, they're happy to answer those for you, or me or Lon are also happy to talk with you about it. But just make sure you're exciting your team about this, right? You're getting the news out there and you're motivating people, because we know that not only is it a great opportunity for ourselves, but it's also a really awesome opportunity and tool to be able to grow our teams. Because as we know, oop, that's my phone. But it's an awesome experience because we are able to invite people, and when people attend events and are able to actually experience the culture and be there and feel the smiles and the happiness and try the products, it really makes a difference in their soul business. They are much more likely to stay active in their soul business and reach their goals. Awesome. Well, that was it for us tonight. We are so grateful for all of you that were watching, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll see you next time.